we've got altitude, which is distance, that's height from the ground, um, and time. So it's essentially a distance time graph. Okay, so it shows the height above sea level. That's what we call altitude. And the question says, use a graph to find the velocity at 300 seconds. So I've gone to the graph at 300 seconds. I know that the gradient of a distance time graph is the speed. So I've drawn a tangent at 300 seconds. I've worked out the gradient, and we note that we see that it's a negative gradient, so our speed should be negative as well. Okay, so my run is around 440 seconds. My height is around about 10,000 meters, and I've done 10,000 meters divided by 140 seconds as the gradient of a distance time graph, and gives me speed of 71 meters per second, but it is a negative gradient, so I've added that minus sign in. If you did final speed here, if you do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, this here will end up negative. So that should be a minus 10,000 meters. Okay, so that is approximately 70. What's accepted? Anything in between 68 and 79 as an answer is accepted here. Okay, so 1 mark for this here, 1 mark for 71, and then 1 mark for the negative sign. Don't forget the negative sign. Okay, because that downwards, where it says here, the user graph says 70 meters per second downwards, that negative sign shows that it is downwards. So again, the vertical component of the shuttle's velocity at 400 seconds is 38 meters per second downwards. I've underlined that. Should put a minus sign within 38 because downward direction we put a negative, upwards positive. Okay, so that's the convention that we're working with. So we've got acceleration, calculate the average acceleration between 300 and 400 seconds. So that is final speed minus initial speed divided by time. So at 400 seconds, that's my final speed. It's minus 38. My initial speed was minus 71, and I take them away from each other. Minus 38 minus 71, and I end up with, actually, that is an incorrect point I've done. That's positive, not negative. Okay, so minus 38 minus 71 over 100, I get plus 0.33 meters per second squared. So the acceleration is 0.33 meters per second squared, and because it's a positive acceleration, it is upwards. Okay, so remember, upwards positive, downwards negative. So taking care of direction here. Okay, now here it's a bit of an extension from GCSE. We know that weight is mass times gravity. Weight is mass times gravity. So we've got mass 2 times 10 to the 6, G 9.6 multiply amount 1.92 times 10 to the 7. Here again, we will go over this when we are looking at force and acceleration. I leave that up. Okay, I leave that up here. Okay, just in case for those of you who want to see what I did to get to the answer. However, we will go over this in another section in a lot more detail. It is an extension of Newton's second law, so I won't go